in London is not so interesting.
True, Holmes. For most people, life is much better now.
But for me, Watson, life is not so interesting. I like hoping to find some use of an interesting crime to investigate, or a dangerous criminal to catch. Where are all those clever criminals of these days?
I don't understand you, Holmes. I like living a quiet life myself. Who is it?
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I'm sorry. Please don't be angry. I feel so afraid, Mr. Holmes.
Please, come in and tell us who you are and what are you doing.
Who are you?
George McFarlane, I am in terrible trouble. You must help me, Mr. Holmes. The police want to arrest me and send me to prison, and I have done nothing. Mr. Holmes, nothing.
Now, I'm interested to hear you, Mr. McFarlane.
I knew nothing about Mrs. Oldacre. Only they were friends with my parents for a long time. I work in the city of London as a lawyer.
She wanted to copy her will, and in her will she wanted to leave everything to me. After this, Mrs. Oldacre asked me to come to her house.
Good morning, Juan. Good morning.
Oh,
I'm Mr. John McFarlane.
I'm...
John McFarlane, I'm arresting you for the murder of Mrs. Jonas Oldacre, the builder of Nile, Southend.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Watson.
Here is telegram for you. I'm sure it is very important. Perhaps it's about Mr. McFarlane.
Inspector Lestrade has proved that Mr. McFarlane is a murderer of Joanna Oldacre. We will go to Norwich. Good morning. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I am helping the Scotland Yard's investigation. Mrs.
Lexington, this is Lexington, housekeeper to Mrs. Joanna Oldacre. I opened the front door of this house at 9:30. Oh, I know now they opened the door to a murderer.
And then?
Then I was very tired and went to bed at 10:30. I heard nothing and saw nothing. Started to look for Mrs. Oldacre. I looked for Mrs. Oldacre. I looked in every part of the house, but I couldn't find her anywhere. She was dead, of course. I know that now. Mr. McFarlane killed her and burned her body into the timber yard. And Mrs. Oldacre was such a good, kind woman.
Please, Mrs. McFarlane, have you any enemies?
Everybody has enemies, but Mrs. Oldacre lived a very quiet life here. No one at all wanted to kill her. That's how I know that Mr. McFarlane is the murderer.
Thank you, Mrs. Lexington. Mrs. McFarlane, good morning. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I am trying to help your son in time of trouble.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, please come in.
I see you're worried. I must ask you some questions.
Please ask me anything.
What do you know about Mrs. Oldacre?
She was a very bad woman. A long time ago, she and I were friends. One day I found out that she was a cruel woman, a dangerous woman. I told her that I didn't want to see her again, and then 6 months later I married my husband. I found out that she loved John's father, but he preferred me to her.
What did she do when you married her beloved?
Oh, she sent me this.
So, why did she leave everything for your son?
We don't want anything from that woman, Mr. Holmes. If she is dead, then I'm happy, but I know that it wasn't John who killed her.
Thank you, Mrs. McFarlane. I must go.
Good morning, Holmes. Good morning, Watson. Sit down, please.
Good morning, Inspector.
So, John McFarlane is a murderer.
I don't think so, Watson. Here you are.
Thank you. Mr. Holmes, I have shown you my proof. John McFarlane's thumbprints proves what he killed John Aldecker. I have my murderer. He is in the cell at Scotland Yard as we speak.
So, in this case, you should ask other person.
Who is this person and where I can find him?
Follow me.
Okay.
Let's make a fire.
Fire! Fire!
This is your room, Mrs. Oldacre.
Do you have anything to say?
It was a joke. I didn't. How did you guess?
Many years ago, John Oldacre fell in love with John McFarlane's father, but he married not her. On the day that they married, Oldacre sent her a photograph of herself with her face slashed. She was very angry, and she never forgot it.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.